Very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sudhir Kumar, and we welcome you to the another disruptive education live session with Global Education and Training Institute. Today, we have a very special guest, Ms. Poonam Kamdar. She is a counseling psychologist in New Delhi, and today she is going to talk about how students can utilize the pandemic time. So, please join our hands together to welcome Ms. Poonam Kamdar. Very welcome, ma'am, and very good afternoon. So, ma'am, we just want to know that this time actually has been a very tough time for the students and the parents, and they have been indulged in online classes for quite a while now. So, what do you suggest that what they would be doing apart from these studies?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Sudhir, for giving such a wonderful introduction about me. And first of all, I'm very happy to be a part of this GETI Global Disruptive Education Movement and to be present here as a live speaker. My heartfelt gratitude to even Ms. Sunita Gandhi, under whose dynamic leadership these sessions are being made possible. Now, today's topic that how students can utilize their pandemic times. It is one of the very crucial topics, and I think as educators, as people who are involved in the education of children, parents as stakeholders, all of them are going to benefit out of this particular topic. Now, first of all, let me tell you that the rapidly dominating coronavirus has changed the entire education scenario and has taken us, I mean, totally by storm, I must say. We are trying to wrap up our own earlier style where physically we were taking the classes, and now from online, we are coming to online mode rather than from offline mode. So, keeping all these things changes in mind, everyone is actually experiencing a total shift in the paradigm, frankly speaking. So I'm here to share a lot of things that how education as far as the students can be imparted in a way both at home and via the formal education so that students are going to benefit. Can I have the first slide, please? Second one. So now, as far as the schools are concerned, schools are giving their very best in the sense like there's a total shift where the teachers are preparing the lesson plans so that it can cater to the students via the online mode. And here, this particular the second slide, please. So this particular change where they're conducting the e-classes, students are they are busy with the worksheets, video lectures are being prepared by the teachers, assignment as per so that they can cater to the needs and cater to the interest levels of the students. They are by being prepared by them. Many schools are having co-curricular activities like dance, music, craft, etc. via online classes. Even I have seen some schools performing physical education classes online. And many a school are trying to provide the students with the recording of the lectures. Some groups are some groups are using direct to home services where it is not possible, the technology is not quite accessible as far as we're concerned about having laptops and smartphones being accessed by every person at home. And some states are even trying to tap Doordarshan to remote access barriers related to communications. Next slide. So the thing is, the challenges for students are also immense. There is a total chaos, there is uncertainty. Exam related challenges are there, syllabus has been reduced, then they're trying to adapt from offline to online modes of learning. They have the certain habits which were actually not at par with the learning styles. So what happens over there when they are not at par? So they could be relaxed in the classroom situations at times, remain seated over there and not actually participating. So they have to undo those habits. They do not have those study habits. Then they cannot move out of the class. Now, when they cannot move out of the class, that bit of movement is always desirable actually. But now that is not possible. They have to be glued to the screens for attending the classes. There earlier at times, sometimes what happened is they will miscommunicate and say and communicate with the parent that my man was not teaching well, that is why I did not score well, that is why I could not perform well. All these things, are posing a lot of challenge for the students. Then there are the study skills that they had, they were inadequate, they were inappropriate. Now they have to develop a habit of self-study rather than being dependent on what the teachers are telling. They have to come into the mode of doing it by self-study. Next slide, please. The parents' collaboration with the teachers is a must nowadays since we have moved from physical space to the online mode, and virtually we are in within the four walls of home, where monitoring and even a lot of persuasion and taking care by the parents, support by the parents is required. So, firstly, I would like to say learning becomes good and enhanced for children when they have proper gadgets for better connectivity. If connectivity is good, learning becomes definitely easy with smooth sailing, rather, I must say. So, having a strong bandwidth to avoid disruptions during the learning process, it is a must. Then, parents at home, they have to even ensure this that it's assignments that are being given, assessments, they are taken up seriously by the students. As a parent, again, there is a lot of owners, and that is why I'm talking about partnership between the teachers, the schools, and parents, because they are going to provide the students with a kind of conducive environment. They have to also ensure that they have a good routine together. I mean, they are working at home. Even if they are working from home, they are ensuring that the child is getting the full attention and the environment that they require. Having a good dialogue, having good conversation at times, and discussing about the school learning, how far is it useful, and in what way they can extend support. For at the same time, ensuring that safety precautions are being followed at home. Sometimes the news that are being circulated via WhatsApp and all that troubles a child, and he or she gets very much disturbed in his learning ways of learning. So discussing these news helps them a lot. Now, online security is also a very big concern, and apart from that, establishing rules for studies, that is also very important. Next slide, please. So there are certain pointers I would like to say that comes as dues for, next slide please, dues for the students. Yes. Now these are the things that are required on part of the students. If they want to be excellent learners, they want to utilize the maximum time out of this lockdown period where they don't feel like actually at times studying because of uncertainty. First of all, creating that kind of environment. Be prepared for the class. Having, because all schools, they're trying to give the timetable. They have scheduled timings for different activities. So let them be prepared for the class. Wear the school uniform so that they get a very good feel that yes, now they're coming to school. Regularity and punctuality in attending the classes. If the class starts at 7:30, the first lecture is at 7:30. They must ensure that they are coming and attending the class at least 10 minutes before, so that uh, whatever for login and other activities, they have sufficient time, and when the lecture starts, they are right in front of the screen. Then maintaining discipline, not leaving the classroom, not doing something else when the class is going on. They have to be really responsible in all these things. Then being on the mute mode and unmute only when asked by the teacher so that the smooth sail of the classroom goes on. Waiting for the turn, writing in the chat box for asking the questions. These are certain discipline that part of the discipline the students must be for. They must ensure that they are following all these things. Next slide, please. Now, with such kind of a thing, the parents have to play a very important role over here. And now, here, what we can do so that our children, they become very good learners via and gain out of the online mode. First of all, away from technology and gadgets. Now, some people may say that all the classes are being held via online mode. So, how can we keep them away from technology? I would suggest you that for online classes, have that much of time period for technology. Use technology because we are using for the betterment of the child. We are giving meaningful education at that time. The schools are trying to give meaningful education. So that is fine. But just unnecessarily wasting time watching a serial, or maybe on WhatsApp, on Facebook, Instagram, wasting time over there. I mean, that energy should be saved. And if that energy is saved, the result is going to be, I mean, the concentration will be high and the students will gain better out of it. Then talking to friends and relatives over phone, it should be actually kept under control, kept under check. Then I always suggest that make a vision board. When a student makes a vision board where he's writing what he plans to do, make it a colorful board where he is actually writing down his goals, what he plans to do, what are the subjects he intends to study today. Have a planning. What is his long-term planning? How he's going to make out of the entire lockdown period. That helps him to gain energy and move towards the direction. And because we say that wherever there is attention, the energy flow takes place there itself. Then art and craft activities that they take the students away from boredom, and they help him or her to move towards or take a keen interest in his academics. Cooking, yes, that is again a stress buster, and it relieves you of the tension also. And I think this is the time period when students are having a lot of apprehensions in the mind. This can be a very good activity to keep them meaningfully engaged, because whenever we create something, I think we get happiness out of it, especially for hyperactive children. And why for him only? For everyone, I will say mindful sessions are very appreciable and effective. They help them to keep in touch or get connected with their inner self. And definitely, when you come from within inside, I think your learning is enhanced. Personality development, here we have seen a number of times that there are online sessions which are going on. Even when I listen to some good orator or a person or an important personality, I think my automatically my personality development starts taking place. That is the beginning. So, listening to such people, viewing them, that is very important if we want to enhance our learning time period during this lockdown. Now, if I talk about communication skills, interpersonal skills, these are all, even decision making capability, problem solving. These are all mentioned under life skills. And what better time you can have rather than this time period, lockdown time period, where you can focus on the personality development, your communication skills, you can enhance them. There's so many channels, there are so many. Yes, one has to go in for the authentic information, definitely, to discuss with the teachers. Subject enrichment classes are also held. Like, let's say if you have completed the syllabus, you feel something else is to be given to you may ask your teacher. Or the students, what they can do is they can the teachers and the educators, they can guide them towards the subject enrichment video lessons, which is going to give them a high, and they will feel that yes, they are utilizing the time effectively. Developing oratory skills by observing or watching a TEDx talks. I mean, rather than sitting and idle or not doing anything or just relaxing and sleeping for unnecessary hours, it's important to get involved into all these things. Many games which can be played inside. I'll be talking about them later on this after the completion of this part. And here it is going to help you a lot here in understanding how the things are to be done as far as games are concerned. And sleep well without playing with your gadgets or games on the gadgets, which is actually a time pass. I mean, this is the best time period where children can use their they can use this time effectively. Sleep well, sleep for 7 hours at a stretch without sleeping on technology. Get up fresh, attend your classes, and take my words, your day will be the student's day will be fine. And why I'm sharing this with educators and teachers? Because they are in touch with their students and they can pass this information via communicating through the parents and seeking their cooperation. Next slide, please. So here is a this thing simple activity. Here, see, you can see a very young child who's being. I mean, the parent is making him or making the child participate in a simple yoga activity. Imagine if the child is spending a time like this, how good he or she will feel after getting connected with the environment, with himself or herself. Next slide. Now, when we are talking about the utilizing the lockdown time, your learning life skills I've already shared. Parents, how now whatever I'm going to share, it applies to the students from pre-primary to 12th. I mean, some of the things are applicable to the junior level, some for the senior level. So take your pick, see wherever whatever is applicable to that particular level that can be forwarded to them. Now, folding clothes, it's a very good activity. Fine motor coordination, that is what you can see that yes, the child is gaining out of it. Then building a garden. I recently learned from, in fact, I've been observing in my society, parents are encouraging children to form herbal garden or grow micronutrients in their gardens, so that like they feel happy after creating something and they see the plants growing. Imagine how much positivity it is it's associated. Then learning the time management skills, this, we cannot actually teach them that after the session that you have learned about time management. But yes, when we when we are actually practicing it in our life, the children, they absorb it like a sponge. Some schools have started with 1 minute craft, and children, they enjoy doing it. DIYs, doing something out of the waste material which is lying at home. That is again a very good way to keep the meaningfully absorbed. And nothing can beat reading a good book. When you have a good book with you, I think you don't need anyone else with you. You learn so many things, and it is one of the meaningful ways to get engaged. Eat well, cook well, look for recipes, search for recipes, create one. Like I know some children, what they have done is they have come out with healthy recipes. They have transformed that recipe into a healthy recipe. So that is the creativity part we are looking in for, and how happy the family will feel after this. That yes, my child has created this. Movement at home, that is shaking, dancing. Those who love dancing, and even if you don't know, even if the students they don't know how to dance, let them just shake around. Do some aerobic exercises, yoga, laughter yoga, something that is again going to get connected with your help you to get connected with yourself and make your breathing better. Then, when I talk about stillness, that is remaining peace with self, sitting down, doing some exercises, relaxing for some time, or not doing anything, that is also very, very important, because it helps you again to feel or try to make sense out of the chaotic situation which is actually outside. Next, please. So one thing which I always tell, in fact, I find that regarding this thing, uh, this applies to mainly the students who are not very young, that they are trying to utilize the time period by using certain facilities being offered online. Like NASA is offering a chance to chat with the scientists. So those who have a scientific bent of mind, they can watch the videos, they can find directions, STEM projects, which I'm sure the most of the schools are aware of. Then solve and play games, listen to a lot of lectures. Those who are interested in social sciences, and even if you're not interested, try certain math quizzes. There are challenges available again on internet, but parents have to see that they are engaged meaningfully. It is not that any site that they open and they're working on it, no, because their time should be utilized properly. I remember one of the parents using mystery stories with the children, and they said, this is an open end, you complete it yourself. And the child was very happy because he had that bent of mind. And he came out with four open ends. And he said that this is what the ending could be. So it was more like a four ends of one single story, which is again reflecting upon the creative aspect. Reading a science fiction, knowing about the entrepreneur. Nowadays, our children are very smart. In fact, in every aspect, they are millennium kids. And I know that for us as a teachers and as educators, we have a tough time in teaching them certain things. But then teach them, share with them how they can become entrepreneurs. Let them read about those people who have started from scratch. Read, or maybe on the internet they can be handed over the link to the program, so that they become aware. This is going to help the commerce students especially. Learning coding, it is again one of the in things where the students can be involved very, very meaningfully. The project making on a particular thing, let's say we can integrate two three things here. Like English language skills can be integrated very well with the art, with the musical skills. Let's say they have come out with a theatrical activity related to a particular topic. There is one chapter, for example, it is teaching something about kindness, for example. So here, how you can have a person from within the classroom who's good in music, he can compose a music, and someone can draw, and apart from that, one person can write the things. Those who have got good literary skills, they can write. One can speak very well. So entire project can be handed over, and students will feel very much engaged. It will serve another purpose also. Students will feel that I am able to get connected with people, which is at this moment the most important thing that we require. All of us require watching channels like National Geographic, Discovery Channel, which enhances our learning and also makes us more aware about the things which are in and around us. Next, next I talk about financial literacy, which is again a very important thing. Please change the slide. Financial literacy or financial fitness, which is very important. It is the in thing, and this is the right time to teach our children about financial literacy. Like, what is the importance of saving? Why I should be having a piggy bank with me? Why you should be putting some money in it? In fact, whatever you're taking out of it should be less than what you're putting in. So, so that, like, this is the crisis time when many people and in fact many organizations are facing the financial crunch. What better time can be than today's, where we can teach our children about this? So, more control over money means like I can control my living style standards later on as well. I know how to have a control over my, or put a limit on what I need and what I can actually forego and I do not need at the immediate moment. It will give me a lot of self confidence and higher self esteem. And not only that, my decision power, making power will be enhanced. I will be having better choices, in the sense like instead of buying a, let's say, 100 rupee game, I can invest and buy a bigger game or maybe bigger thing which I require. Imagine how comfortable and competent will I feel if I'm saving and utilizing it like this. Then I can also think about dreaming beyond my day-to-day life. I can, if I have savings with me, it gives me a lot of strength. How we can do it? Saving, putting in the piggy bank, as I've shared with you, and involve children in budget making. That can be taken up very well as a commerce project also. When you're sharing, like if you're trying to set up a business, like how you should be dividing the resources, the amount, and how you can be involved in budget making so that you can allocate the right amount to for the right resources. So this is going to help you a lot. Reducing the expenses is the best way, because you know that we can control what is controllable, and we can control our expenses, because our income is, or whatever the cash that we have, that we are not sure of how much we are going to have it. Next slide, please. Now, after that, it comes very. This is one of the pictures that I would like to share. Yoga session or exercises, physical exercises being conducted by one of the schools abroad. So this is how you can create. You can the physical education exercises can be conducted so that students feel very comfortable. They feel positive. They feel some positive energy coming in, and they are able to move themselves and they gain something out of it. Next. Now, after that, I would like to share certain more activities for the students, which are very important. Like it's this is basically, you can say, more applicable for the junior students. Dot to dot, joining the dots. That worksheet can be given to them, or maybe you can buy some magazines from outside which have such activities in them. Spot the difference can be one more thing. It helps in logical thinking, having a visual, they are able to discriminate visually, which is going to help them a lot. Clay modeling, again, kinesthetic senses are used, which is a very useful and a very good activity for children. Art and craft, involving students in art and craft activities. Again, they are making use of their hands, creating something, They will feel very good after that. In practicing the opposites, verbally, I know some parents, some teachers, what they do is they give them, okay, fact, what is going to of it. The students are involved. And the best thing is when you're teaching students anything in between, best thing is what you can do is after 10-15 minutes, just throw some questions like this which can involve them. The moment the children gets involved, their interest is aroused and they will be more participating and the learning becomes very much enhanced. And that is the effective way of utilizing the lockdown period. Then after that, we have virtual trips to museums that you can think, you can send the links to them, and believe me, they're going to benefit like anything. Then we have lot of indoor games like Ludo is there, snakes and ladders, and we have Scrabble, Monopoly. These indoor games not only helps in developing a bond between the families, but also help them to have patience. I mean, work in such a way where they are relaxed and they're enjoying just for the sake of enjoyment. There is no winning, nothing, but they feel connected and they feel good about it. Treasure hunt is another very good way of keeping the children involved. Parents can plan it out and give them a small reinforcement or a reward because with rewards they work better. I remember what you are saying indirectly that I am here, beta, I am available for you. I'm behind the scenes, but it's fine. I'm still there for you. So you don't have to worry about anything. Imagine, apart from the family and the parents, another hand on your shoulder. I mean, what kind of support we are extending towards kids? Fancy letter writing on paper form. I think most of us have forgotten. But then give them fancy letter pads. Take out a printout and ask him or her to write a letter. I think that is going to do wonders. His creativity will be expressed, his language will improve, and it is going to be, and he or she will feel again very good about it. Spelling games are very good, spellathons and all. I mean, work upon all these things. Talking to the children, having dialogues, talking to them about their fears, their apprehensions, what they are missing, what they're not missing, and how they can gain out of the entire thing. That is very important. Next slide, please. Now, this slide shows shows how a child is enjoying online classes. In fact, he's trying to play the guitar as per because he has shown interest. The parents have put him in an online class where he's observing and trying to do the things under the guidance of the parent. Now, again, I'm saying that it is the support of the parent which is required in online classes 100%. Then, next slide. Whenever the parents are at home, they are watching a serial or anything, ask questions in between. What are the favorite characters? Let their thinking caps be on. What they want to be. How did the character feel? What did they think? Why it happened? How was the problem solved? And what you can add one more question: is there any way, if you were a part of the character, what would you like to be? And like, if you are a part of the character, what would you like to be? And how are you going to present yourself in front of others? This will again make him feel interested, will get attached, and will see that whenever he or she will be watching a character cartoon thing, he or she will get involved and be more observant because he knows that you are going to ask this question next time. What I think it is one of the wonderful ways of learning for the child. Next slide, please. Now, if we talk about certain physical activities at home, tell a story, drawing, paper craft, singing. Yeah, karaoke singing is one thing which is taken students and in fact elders also by storm. You just have the lyrics are there, you remember the melodies, and you are singing. The music is coming out. I think you suddenly become a star by yourself. It again enhances your self-esteem and gets you involved in something creative, which is again meaningful and socially desirable. Next, please. Now, it's very important that this quarantine period should bring out the best in every child. We're talking about human values of kindness, how I'm talking to or behaving with my with the people, with my helping hands, with the people who are coming outside guide to help me in some way or the other, or maybe how am I helping within my household. So these values, discipline is another value which is inculcated during this quarantine period, because parents are there every time to guide them. Then health and fitness, the three pillars of health that I talk about is: number one is your nutrition, number two is your movement, how you're doing the exercises and all, and third is stillness, how you're keeping calm with yourself. Best time to utilize during this lockdown period. Study skills and having a study plan and self-studying, because this is something which most of our children are missing. The new ways to settle down and do self-study so that you can come out with very good results. Communication skill, how am I interacting and communicating with others, developing those interpersonal skills, and yes, taking care of not only my own emotional well-being but of within the people who are in and around me, by staying safe, by following the safety norms, and also by practicing techniques that keeps me calm. Financial fitness I've already talked about, and connection with the self also. Family bonding, great times to have the family bonding, because your child is in front of you. The parents are in touch with the teachers. Teachers know what the kids are doing at home, and this is the time they can guide on the family bonding part also. Then being responsible to self and society by taking utmost precaution. I request the teachers also, the educators, to please share it with the parents as well, that do not allow them to go out during this quarantine period, even if they want to just go for a round on the bike or something like this. No, this is the quarantine period. This is the time when safety is our utmost priority. Let them be at home, practice safety norms, and do some exercises or movements at home itself. Get involved in socially desirable things. Thank you. So my important here, this thing is making learning a habit, which is very important. And for this, we need the cooperation of the parents, cooperation of the teachers, and they have to, in fact, work in sync with each other, because we have children in the center and all of us are at the periphery. But the goal is the same. Goal is the best, drawing the best out of the child, going in for the 360-degree development. And one more word of caution: teachers and parents and educators, remember, learning can still wait. I mean, syllabus can wait. In fact, learning takes place every day. Even if they are learning in small bits every day, I think our task as educators is done. Give them the time to relax, give them the time to enjoy the entire learning process. And when parents, they are facing one problem, which they have shared in general, is that now this thing has the responsibility from the teachers has shifted to the parents of monitoring, of guiding. And the students are not in a position to take parents as their teachers. Parents, they want to scream at times on their kids. But the thing is, have patience. This moment will pass. But only thing is, remember, your child is very important for everyone, for all the stakeholders, whether it is the parents, educators, or the teachers. Thank you.